What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all having a wonderful week and had a wonderful Valentine's Day yesterday with somebody you care about. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the last chance for the EX Volume 8 content. That's right, you guys. EX Volume 8 is officially leaving us today. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about everything that you need to know in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any of these events or any of these rewards. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. And let's just go ahead and get into today's topic. Now, before we do get into the topic, I do need to make sure that I mention something here at the beginning. Yes, there were announcements over on the official forums. I am not living under a rock. Yes, I saw that we are going to be getting new battle passes with some reruns of some characters. And we're also going to be getting some new packages in that announcement. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about that in tomorrow's video, because chances are it's going to be something that requires its own video, and it's going to be something that requires a little bit of a rant and a rave from me, depending on what it looks like in game. So I'm just going to wait until I have all the details in front of me before I go ahead and make that video, just so I don't look like a complete dumbass. So with that said, I will cover all of that in tomorrow's video. So for those of you who are wondering, we're going to comment and say, hey, TBR, you missed an announcement. No, I saw it. I just haven't decided whether I want to talk about it in today's video or not. And really, as we sit here and we talk about it more, I've decided that I'm just going to talk about it tomorrow, because yeah, I have some strong feelings towards that, depending on how it's implemented. And I'm going to wait and see all the details and get all the facts before I just go ahead and go off the rails. So that is what we're going to be doing in tomorrow's video. Let's focus on today's topic, shall we? So first and foremost, as you guys can see, there are going to be 12 and a half hours left on most of this stuff that is going away for EX Volume 8. So that means by the time you guys are watching this video, you can assume that there's even less time, right? So that means that you need to get this stuff done quick, especially if you're a procrastinator and have waited until the last minute. So with that said, let's take a look at what you need to focus on. When it comes to the Rush Dungeon, as I always tell you guys, rush dungeons go away, but the exchange shops last an extra week. So with that said, the exchange shop and your coins will last an extra 7 days past today. So you need to make sure that you at least have enough coins to pick up all the different items that you might want out of here. And then if you want to go the extra mile and use the extra AP, you can stockpile some extra coins to be able to pick up some of these daily items every day throughout the next 7 days. But with that said, that is going to be what you're looking at as far as the rush dungeon. My suggestion, at least try to get these cards and try to get these little fragments here so you can get your badges from the crafting event, which we'll talk about more when we get to that point. But again, guys, the Rush Dungeon Exchange Shop will be sticking around for a week. You can see that right here. So you don't need to worry about that. You just need to make sure that you worry about grinding out the coins needed in order to use them there, right? So that is going to be the first thing, the Rush Dungeon. Make sure that you get all the coins and all the items that you want from this within the next 7 days, but make sure you get the coins done today, right? So with that said, we have the challenge dungeon. The biggest thing about the challenge dungeon, in my opinion, I've talked about this before, my breakdown of the update, is you want this mysterious power token, because this is going to be how you get one of your stones for your characters. If you're not going for the characters at all, then this means very little to nothing to you, but it is there. So at least at minimum, get that. Another thing to keep in mind is you do get this BS or SS Fighter Memory Mystery Box. It is a mystery box, so yay Netmarble, but notice that it does have 7 days on it. So keep that in mind. This is something that once you get it, you will need to redeem it within 7 days, right? So this is not expiring today, 7 days from now, like the exchange shop for the Rush Dungeon. So that said, make sure you guys finish this up, especially if you pulled on the characters. There's no reason not to at that point, right? So that is that. Other things in here. The dice event kind of coincides with what we just talked about with the Rush Dungeon. Make sure you're playing your Rush Dungeon every day. Make sure you're getting all that stuff done. Make sure you go in and finish it for the last day today, not just so you can pick up your daily 100 rubies from doing the first and the third part of it and the rest of the items that go along with it, but also your dice for the dice game. At this point, I'm going to miss this the most out of all this stuff because I completed this fairly early on, and I've been getting these completion rewards for 50 rubies a pop a lot, So I'm gonna miss this thing, but make sure that you guys use up your dice, because you can't take them with you and they'll be going away. As you guys can see right here, 12 hours remaining on that. So make sure you use up your dice and get as much out of those as possible. Other things in here, the event codex obviously goes without saying. If you're pulling on the characters, you want to pick up these items, because these are basically rewards for you going in and spending your hard-earned rubies. So make sure you pick those up. Not much to talk about there. Other things here, the imprint support roulette. So this right here is something, as you guys can see, I have been very tardy on using up my tickets for. I'm gonna go ahead and do that later on today and just bingo on stuff. It's not really anything I need. I've got tons and tons and tons of all this stuff, but just make sure that you go in and you use these up. There's no reason to go ahead and just waste all this. So just make sure that you do that, right? So that is going to be the next thing. Make sure that you go in, use up your roulette tickets, and do your ads, whatever the case may be for that. Other things in here, Shun'ei's crafting event is going to be sticking around for a week. However, you will need to pick up the different items needed to craft these things before that week is up. So you'll need to do all that stuff like collecting your goods today, and then you can go ahead and exchange them and use them and redeem them in these different events later on. It's not a big deal, but you need to at least make sure that you grind all the stuff today, right? So that being said, just make sure that you go in here, take a look. As you guys can see, I've already pretty much taken care of most of this stuff, but again, just make sure that you're getting the materials today, because the different ways that you can get these items are going to stick around, like the Rush Dungeon Exchange Shop, like we just talked about, the crafting event, etc. But again, the way you get those items will be going away. So that is something to keep in mind. Other things in here, really not a whole lot else in here besides the actual banners. Suffice it to say, these two characters are the best characters in the game until the next characters in the game drop. So if you guys want the best characters in the game for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, go for it. These two guys are incredibly good, all jokes aside. We've done videos on both of these two, and they're phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. They're stylish, they're fun, they're pretty easy to use. And they're great characters. There's really not a whole lot to say about it other than the fact that they're the best damage dealers in the game, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend either one of them. So if you want these characters, if you feel like you need these characters, go ahead and pick them up. I would definitely recommend doing so, but we don't have any indication of what EX Volume 9 is going to be at this point, so keep that in mind. We just know that we are going to be getting a new Ruby login event within the next 24 hours, and then from there, it's pretty much just going to be a short week or so before we know exactly what we're getting into as far as EX Volume 9, more than likely. So woohoo. With that said, we do have the card banner as well. The card banner, in my opinion, just get the option card and finishers. You don't need to worry about the set so much. It's a good set, but it's not a great set. I would recommend just trying to get these guys and this guy here. That's really the way I would go about it if I'm trying to be picky and I'm trying to be conservative. If you're somebody that really just wants to collect everything, obviously you're going to get all this stuff. Or if you're somebody that really just wants to be safe, get the set just in case a character comes out down the road that this is the best card set for them. But with that said, you don't necessarily need to have the card set if you're wanting to specifically use Shun'ei or Iori. There are better card sets for them. But with that said, the option card is incredibly good, and then the finishers are really, for Shun'ei, necessary. For Iori, you could give or take it just because he has other options by comparison to a character like Shun'ei who only has the one. But I would definitely recommend trying to get both, right? So that is pretty much going to be that. Other things in here, guys, if you want to get the battle passes, you can still pick them up. I picked up the $5 one back when it went on sale just because I figured I would just get those tokens. But at the end of the day, if you want to pick these up, you can still, yes, unlock these and get all the different items if you want to, as long as you have been playing the game every day and accumulating your points towards your battle passes. You should be able to get that stuff. No muss, no fuss. So, is that it? I think that's it, guys. I think that is EX Volume 8. It is an update that will definitely go down in history as being a controversial update. It will go down in history as being a great update for characters. Very exciting update for characters. Both of these characters were phenomenal. But at the end of the day, I don't know where this game's going, what they're planning on doing, and what their intentions are going forward. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about what they posted on the official forums today. You guys can check it out for yourselves. Maybe I'll put a link in the description. But, you know, it's one of those things where I prefer just to have all the information in front of me on that before I make any judgment calls or anything like that. But with that said, if you guys need to, as you probably already know, but for those of you who are new who might not, this little clock over here, if you click on it, it'll tell you exactly what items are expiring. So that way you kind of know what to use up today. So you don't need to worry necessarily about remembering all these different currencies for these events. But that's kind of your quick access, quick reference there if you want to know where that stuff is going and what is going. So anyway, you guys, that's today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of EX Volume 8 as a whole. Let me know in the comment section what you think about those announcements over on the official forums that we'll talk about in tomorrow's video. God, I'm not looking forward to this. But anyway, you guys, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And until the next one, you all take care. Peace.
Continue.